I was amazed when I saw this ad on YouTube and Facebook for this wooden puzzle model machine gun that looked like it was firing in full auto mode. So I went on Temu and found something similar for about $30. This is what I got. A big bag of rubber bands, some assembly pieces, a screwdriver, a stick of wax, a bag of wooden pegs that looks like it's going to be ejection pieces, the assembly manual, 2 springs, 1 screw, probably fell off of the bag, and a giant bag of screws and more plastic bits. And finally, the sheets of wood and simulated leather. Here's the final build. It looks very detailed. The barrel is a solid piece though, so nothing will be shooting out of this. I noticed the front grip is a bit wobbly. The drum magazine actually comes out, it has a release mechanism on the side. Here's a look inside at where the pegs go to be ejected. Although it looks like a drum, the projectiles feed in straight up and down like a regular magazine. The round drum shape is just for looks. The pieces around it are mostly for looks and are non-functional, like the rotating propeller. Back to the rifle. The trigger is spring actuated and functional. This speed switch here on the side is only cosmetic. It does not rotate. On the top is where the rubber bands loop around, and this is what the trigger actually releases. Behind it is the ratcheting mechanism where the rubber bands can be looped and wound up so that they can be shot out one after another. This is how it moves as it shoots. As you can see in the side, there is a mechanism to push out the wooden pegs from the magazine. As for decorations on this side, there's an etched simulated leather piece that says Eternal Submachine Gun. On the front here, there's more etched patterns. The front has more etched patterns on the fake leather. And on the rear it says, The Glory of the Trench, with stability and accuracy. The etching and logos give it a nice touch, and overall I like the attention to detail. Now let's see how it actually shoots. On this try, it only shot out 1 rubber band and it got hung up. Nothing was shot out of the side, and as you can see here, the wooden peg is in there, but the mechanism that's supposed to push it forward and out was not able to get hold of it. On the second try, another 1 rubber band shot out and it got hung up again. On the third time, again, just shot out a single rubber band. I've given up on getting the pegs to eject. They seem to be stuck in there. Fourth try, again, just a single rubber band. Finally, it shot out 2 rubber bands. Here's a slow motion look. 1 shot, 2 shot, then the third one held in place. Now here's why the pegs got stuck. Because of the clearances and material being wood, they easily get lodged in there and it doesn't slide up easily. In the instructions it says to wax up a lot of the surface area so that they will slide, but I think over here it got too tight once it got assembled. And all the surrounding areas, some parts might be pushing against other parts and it's causing it to jam. Here's how it actually supposed to function. I've loosened up some of the screws on the drum so everything is a bit looser. But this is only because it's a part. Once I put it together into the gun, other things are pushing against other pieces and it becomes a bit too tight. Here's a look at how the firing mechanism works. When you pull the trigger, the rubber band attached pulls this piece forward, and as it goes forward, it drops down and releases the rubber band. Because the rubber band is released, there's no more tension pulling it forward, and the spring that's inside pushes it back towards the rear of the gun. The momentum of the backward motion pushes it against the pivot and spring attached to the rotating wheel that's holding a rubber band. That releases the rubber band and it catches onto the front peg. As the rear wheel rotates, the next rubber band lines up and this rubber band pulls it forward again. The process repeats, and if everything is perfectly lined up, it looks like it's shooting in full auto. Here's a close-up slow motion look at the rubber band release mechanism. Now here's a shot of it actually firing in auto mode 3 times successfully. And again, closer up and even slower. Here's a successful rear view of it shooting multiple times successfully. So while I was not able to shoot it out like in the advertisement video, the mechanism does work as long as everything is lined up properly and everything fits. But it being a wooden puzzle makes it a bit hard for everything to line up properly. And I was never able to get the wooden pegs to eject out like in the video. But I think it's a very neat puzzle, and if I have time, I could tinker with it and get everything lined up properly, more consistently, so it could work as shown in the video.